So right now I'm going to show you how to do the sampling section of the methodology. And so before we get started, you need to make sure that you are in the Google Classroom and you have already pulled up your senior paper and your survey. So that's really important. So the first thing you're going to want to do is navigate to the methodology section of your paper, specifically the sampling section. You can do that by doing a Control F search and typing in sampling, and it should bring you to this section. Alternatively, you can just scroll down to find it, but this is the section that you want to be working with. So once you've found that, you should go into the Google Classroom and find this post that is from today, which is March 13th, and click on the sampling doc. This is the document that has the instructions for the sampling section and a description of it, and this is kind of the skeleton of the sampling that you are going to copy and paste in. So what you want to do now is highlight the whole thing all the way down to where it says the limitations section. So get this whole paragraph and then copy it, and now you're going to go into your own document and paste it into your own document. And I'm using Control V to do that, but you can also go up here into the edit menu and do paste. Okay, so now you have the sampling section in there. You don't need to have sampling in here twice, so you can go ahead and delete that second one. You don't need the Control F search anymore, so you can just close that out. And now we're going to go ahead and just fill in the blank. So it says there are approximately 350 students and 50 teachers and staff who attend or work at Hogan Preparatory Academy. That's basically true, more or less. It's approximations. Hogan Preparatory Academy is a Title I public charter school in Kansas City, Missouri. The sample included in this study was a total of blank respondents. So respondents are the people who have taken your survey, and you want to know how to fill in the blank for this. So go up to your survey and click on that. And then next to the responses section at the top right here, you can see the number of how many respondents or people who have taken the survey that you have. So this survey is Marty and Ejane's, and they have 51 responses. So in that first blank, it says a total of 51 respondents. So now if you have collected information, and it goes on to say blank students and blank staff members at Hogan. So it really wants to know how many of them were students and how many of them were staff. So, that's cute. So what you want to do is look at your demographic information and see if that is reported. It seems like it was not reported, and it looks like nobody who is younger than 19 has taken it. So what I'm going to do is just take out this part where it says blank students and blank staff members. If yours has that information, you should fill in that blank. So it wants to know how many high school students. This is 100% high school student respondents, because we know that that's where the sampling came from. We only gave it out in seminar classes. If yours is one of the surveys that was distributed online on Facebook or on Twitter or Reddit by me, then you might not know this information. So you can say predominantly high school students, because if you have anything over 50 responses, it's likely that that difference came from the internet, but you just don't know unless you collected that data yourself. So then it's asking between the ages of blank and blank. So how old are you? 17 is the youngest and 19 is the oldest. So that is 100% high school students between the ages of 17 and 19. And this survey came from my classroom. So they're recruited primarily from senior seminar classes. I don't know why I capitalized the C. You don't have to do that. Senior seminar classes. Okay. This part isn't true. It says participants were predominantly freshmen, although blank percent were sophomores, blah, blah, blah. This is obviously not true. And I think that it's safe to say, because the youngest person is 17, we can take out this word predominantly and change it to entirely. And obviously they're not freshmen because they're 17, 18, and 19. Participants were entirely, I would say, high school seniors. Because our research is so good, there might be college students reading it, there might be college professors reading it, so we want to make sure to be specific. Alright, participants were entirely high school seniors. The racial composition of the sample included blank percent black, so now I have to go to race. If you reported it on here as African American instead of black, that's fine. Or if you said black/African American or African American/black, that's fine. Just make sure that the language you're using in your report is consistent with the language that you're using in your study. And make sure it's consistent in the appendix, and make sure it's consistent in the verbiage that you're using, the language that you're using when you're reporting it. So 96.1% African American. I am just hovering over this section and reading this. So then I'm going back in here. The racial composition of the sample included 96.1. Remember, I have to change this now. African American respondents. And then let's see what the other little percents were. 1 white American. I feel like that was me. Oh, I forgot to look at the percent. 2%. Okay. 2% white American. I don't know why we included the word American there, but you know, we're gonna roll with it. And then 1 person reported that they were biracial. So, and 2% of respondents were biracial. Okay, so cool. Now, I don't know why I put this down here. I'm sorry, I should have put it up at the top. It says if there are any other demographic characteristics like GPA, smoking or non-smoking, etc. So if you used sexual orientation or something like that, then you need to include that in this section. So I'm going to check. This is age, race, gender, and GPA. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put GPA in the demographics section. It looks like the highest percentage of our respondents was 52.9% had a GPA range of 2.1 to 3.0. So easy. I'm going to take this out. 52.1. I think that's what I said. 52.1% of respondents reported GPA in the, I think I said 2.1 to 3.0 range, while 45.1% oh crap, I think it was 3.1 to 4.0 range. Do I have to use an M dash or an N dash? I don't know, you guys. It's like 10 o'clock at night. I'm really tired. I'll Google it later. Okay. And then the last percent is this sad soul 1.0 to 2.0, 2%. that range is different than the other one. But you know what? It's okay. We're going to let that go. Okay. Then you need to say something like these characteristics or this information is, then you can pick between represented or summarized. Don't put them both, is summarized in table 1. Okay, and then your next question is, Ms. Weldon, where's table 1? Well, I'll show you. Where it says table 1 goes here, highlight that whole thing. Then go up to the top and click on insert, and you're going to go to table. In the sampling doc, if you scroll down, there is a how-to guide for how to insert a table, so you don't have to watch this whole video again if you don't want to. But you're going to click on insert and click on table. Now there's 2 ways you could do this. You could go across horizontally, or you could go vertical. I think vertical looks cuter. I just like it better. I can't explain to you why. It doesn't matter to me. You won't lose points if you go horizontal. If you want to go horizontal, you want 3 rows and like 10 columns. If you want to go vertical, you want 3 columns and like 10 rows. And if you don't have enough rows or you have too many, it's not a big deal. It's not the end of the world. You can always change it. Before you do anything else, label your table. Label the table. It's going to be called table 1. Then put a colon, demographic characteristics. I'm going to be honest with y'all right now. I am not 100% confident that this is the correct way to label a table. This is how I've always done it, and I have not gotten in trouble, but I am going to make a note to myself to double check this. Against the APA style guide. Because now I'm getting worried. Okay, and I'm assigning it to myself. If there's anything you want me to do for you, the best thing to do, instead of saying like, hey, look at this section or whatever, is to give me a very specific task to do and then make sure you tag me in it and click assign, so that way it shows up in my inbox. Alright, sorry, I digress. So next, what you want to do, you're going to leave this first little box blank and then hit tab. In this box, the second box, just type the word number, and then in the third one, type the word percent, and then in a parentheses, put a little percent. Then click tab again. I am just going to suggest you go in the order that the demographic characteristics are reported on your survey. So the first one is age. So age, and then the age ranges are 17, 18, and 19. So what you want to do is type age here, and then make it bold, and then go down, leave these 2 boxes blank, go down and hit the space bar 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then type the first age category. So it's 17, then I'm going down to the next one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 18. Then I'm going down to the next one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 19. Okay, so then you want to know how many of the respondents numerically were 17. 23 of them were, so, and also 45.1%. So I can do 23 is the number of respondents who were 17, and the percentage of the total respondents was 45.1. I don't have to put a percent sign right here because I already put it up at the top there. So that's going to save you some time in the long run. I'm going to keep doing the same thing. So 26 of these people are 18, and that's 51% of respondents. So 26, 51. This one, 19, 2 of them are 19, and that's 3.9%. 2 are 19, that's 3.9%. Okay, so then you are just going to keep doing this for each one. And I am going to do it for the whole thing If you feel like you have a hang of it, then I say you don't need to watch the video anymore. Except, wait, I have one more thing to point out to you. The last little paragraph of the sampling section addresses the sampling method. It's a convenient sampling method. Let's read it together. Respondents were recruited via a convenient sampling method. A link to the online study instrument was provided to high school students and some adults, many of whom were required to select multiple studies to participate in. You know what? That doesn't make sense with that. Okay. This sampling method is flawed because now you have to answer the question of why the sampling method is flawed in a statement by finishing this sentence and perhaps adding another one. I've included a link to the Wikipedia article for convenient sampling for a couple of reasons. One, you have to read this bad boy and figure out what the heck are the flaws with the convenient sampling. If you don't want to do this, I'm going to tell you a secret. If you don't want to do this, it's already provided for you in the sampling limitations in the design subsection or the limitations subsection. But I recommend just following the link and looking at convenient sampling. And you might be thinking, we're not allowed to use Wikipedia. Why did you provide Wikipedia for us? For a couple of reasons. One, Wikipedia is a lot of times a really, really good background source, and it, two, helps you find other sources. So while you're right, you cannot cite Wikipedia as a credible source in a literature review or an APA-style paper, what you could do is scroll down to the bottom where it has references, and then click on one of these. Remember, if there is this in italics, usually it's coming from a peer-reviewed journal, especially if it has a DOI. Click on that and see if you can find a peer-reviewed source. Lo and behold, here's an abstract to a journal article. If you were writing a literature review, you already have a source here, and look, all of their references are published. Congratulations. You're welcome. This is awesome. Okay, so there's the end of that digression. If you are confident in your ability to make this table based on what I've shown you so far, go ahead and stop watching now. If you want to see some more examples, or if you just want to go through the whole process together, you're welcome to keep watching. This is going to take me probably, 5 more minutes. Maybe less than. You know how I like to tell stories though, so. Alright, so I'm just going back here. I'm going to go ahead and get started on race. Technically this should say race and ethnicity because Hispanic is not a race, it's an ethnicity. But whatever. Okay. I did not make this. Okay, so I'm going to tab over twice and then a third time, and then I think that I did that 5 spaces. African American is 49 respondents at 96.1%. So this is African American, 49 respondents and 96.1. I don't have to click percent. I don't have to type percent because it's already in there. Alright. Next is white. That's one person, one respondent, and 2%. I just want these all to be lined up. 2%. And then we have this biracial person. I think that they use the hyphen. Does biracial have a hyphen in it? I want to see what Associated Press says about it. Looks like African American wants to be hyphenated. And biracial doesn't exist on here. Ooh. Ooh. Well, now you see why it takes me so long to do work, because I get sucked down rabbit holes like that. Okay, so we're done with race now. Wow, y'all. I'm going to just close that bad boy because I could stay on there for hours. Alright, we already did gender, I think. Nah, we didn't. Okay, so we're going to do gender. And now you see we have a problem because I have run out of rows. So the way I'm going to get around that is I'm either going to, if I'm on a PC or not a Chromebook, I'm going to right click and I am going to insert a row below. If you don't want to do it that way, you can come up here to table and do insert row below, or my favorite, you can just hit tab a bunch of times and it will add more rows. Okay. I don't want this to be bold. I just hit space over a bunch of times, 5 times, and then I did female. And I'm going to do the same thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for male. Wow. If this happens to you and it's just appearing as bold in each new box, cell, I guess, what you can do is highlight all of them and then unbold them, and that should fix the problem. Okay, so I'm looking on here. There's 56.9% female, that's 29 of them. 56.9. And then male is 22, and that's 43.1%. 43.1. Okay. This is something that you might want to address in your limitations section. Sorry, Marty. Forget that your name is actually Martirius. Okay, you want to address this in your limitations section because females make up roughly 50% of the population, but here we can see that females are overrepresented in the sample, so that means that the sample might not be reflective of the general population, which is more evenly balanced towards male and female. It might be that this survey results are really only truly reflective of what women think, and they kind of ignore what men think about serial killers. And that's what you would put in the limitations section. Hogan, yeah, right here. So whenever you get around to that, which should have already happened, shade, then make sure you include if there's something crazy like this. If it's like 70% female, you definitely need to address that in the limitations. Okay. Now we're going to do GPA, and then we're going to be done. Alright, so there's 3 sections here, and I'll only have 1 more row. So I'm going to hit tab, 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 tab. Okay. It's like a makeup tutorial. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm just not going to report on this because there were no respondents in this GPA range. And then for the other ones, I'm literally just copying them and pasting them. Oops. And pasting them because I don't feel like typing that much. I'm not going to lie to you. That seems a little bit lazy because now I'm going to have to like change the fonts or whatever, so it's probably just creating more work for myself, but at this point, YOLO. Alright, so now I'm going to change the font back, blah, blah, blah. Make it 12 point Times New Roman font. Make sure it is the same as the other cells. Then go back here in the 1.0 to 2.0 category. One person said that. Oops. 1, and that's 2%. Then in the next category, the 2.1 to 3.0. Wow. 27 people said that. That's 52.9%. And if you think I have a really good memory, it's not. It's literally just echoic memory. Like, I couldn't do it if I hadn't said it. I am just hearing the echo of my own voice. 23, and that's 45.1. So it does help if you say it out loud. All right, cool. Now look at my really awesome table. I am just taking steps to make it a little bit cuter. I know that not everyone thinks about cuteness of tables, but I certainly do. And you know what I want? I want all of the lines to go away. So I'm going to highlight this, and I'm going to go to table, and I'm going to go to table properties. I don't think there needs to be this much cell padding. I think that it would be just fine to be less padded. And I think that the table border should be white. Because look, what a cute table. It all fits on one page. Okay, it's cute. Wow, it looks like real science happens here. You know? That's crazy. If you can't make your table fit all on one page, I bet you I can help you with that. But it's really not the end of the world. It's not like there's like a page limit. Okay, I think we've gone over everything for the sampling section. This is just a casual reminder that everything needs to be in Times New Roman, or I'm going to go insane. That's just casual that I'm reminding you of that. All right, y'all. Happy hunting. Good luck to you with your sampling section. Tag me in comments if you have any questions. Hopefully you're having a great spring break and you're not feeling like you have to do a ton of work, but you know, I think we all know. We're all going to be working over spring break, so have a great time, y'all. Have a great time. I got to figure out how to turn this off. All right, bye.